Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles the Banser, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty spicy show for y'all. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video, sub to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. Let's get into today's topic. Okay, let's get into today's topic. So this topic can be viewed as a continuation on what we discussed yesterday. So yesterday we produced a show that was centered on some comments that Ryan Clark had to make about one of his colleagues on Get Up, right? So they were having the show. They were reacting to some football game that I didn't watch, unfortunately. And while they were talking, I guess the analyst was saying something that Ryan Clark didn't agree with. And Ryan Clark essentially told him that, look, the only reason you hold this viewpoint, his name was Peter Schrager. I hope I got his name right. He was like, listen, the only reason you have this viewpoint is because you never play sports, right? So for those of you who don't remember this back and forth or never saw it, want to play it for you now, and then want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Ryan Clark had to say yesterday about the exchange.
Wake up this morning. Are you feeling, okay, you look at A.J. Brown, which is this number one wide receiver who got one target all night, and then you got CeeDee Lamb. But that's the,
when was the one target?
That's the target,
but
though.
I'm saying,
when was the one target?
I'm saying you could have it both ways.
54 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this morning saying A.J. Brown had a better day than CeeDee Lamb?
But you know what you wake up saying, though? A.J. Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course.
Right, like that's what,
I get it.
But the thing is this, though, and we shouldn't do this on TV, and so I apologize if people think this is rude. That's the non-player.
Oh, view. Stop! That's no. That CeeDee Lamb is.
Let me tell you why. I'm not saying.
I'm not looking at fantasy football, Ryan. I'm not. Don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing, and give an alternative perspective that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player, I can't speak for CeeDee Lamb.
Great. So you heard that. So after that, ESPN, I guess, prompted Ryan Clark to go out there and issue an apology to his colleague. And I want to read what he said on Twitter. This was day before yesterday. He said, "Today I had an interaction with my colleague, both on and off the air, that I regret. I've apologized to Peter and taken accountability with the ESPN leadership. I value working with Peter and look forward to this season. My focus will remain on professionalism, teamwork, and being a better teammate moving forward." And this post generated about, 5.2 million views and 9,000 comments and 1,700 retweets. So people reacted to that. So I thought that the story was over. I didn't think we needed to discuss that anymore. We were done. We kind of laid out our thoughts on that. But then apparently, the outspoken Dave Portnoy, he decided to jump into the fray. And he decided to go at Ryan Clark. And not only did he go at him, he basically called this guy a race baiter. Now we got this from Awful Announcing. The head of the article says Dave Portnoy slams Ryan Clark for non-player dig at Peter Schrager, and then he went on to make the comments that he made about Ryan Clark being a race baiter. So what we want to do is want to play what he had to say. In this case, Dave Portnoy to Ryan Clark, and then we're going to come back and react to it. But before we even get into those comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm really looking forward to watching some of these NBA Summer League games. Here's what I like to do. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, great. So take a listen to Dave here, and then we'll come back and react to it. Take a listen to his comments there.
Bother me. But in this instance, we're watching the games on TV. We kind of know football. You know, we see the same thing. So I'm not one of those guys that thinks that you guys are lower than me because I played and you didn't.
I always, and I was going to ask the Gruden and Olsen that question. That, of course, is a big debate. Ryan Clark went after Peter Schrager from NFL Network. They got in debate about a game. And Ryan Clark, who's one of the all-time jerks in the history of mankind, he is a race baiter. You can say that. I don't know if we can say this. He is. The only time he's in the news is when he's picking fights and then apologizing. But he yelled at Peter Schrager, basically saying, hey, shut up. You didn't play football. You can't talk. I've never understood that. Like, I get playing the game, but there's a lot of morons who played the game. There's a lot of bad GMs who played football. There's a lot of bad coaches who played football. Watching football, being around sports. So I appreciate you, Jay Will, saying you didn't have to play the game. Certainly not to have an opinion.
Right. And there's a lot of...
Excellent. So you heard what he had to say. Good Lord. Okay. What are my thoughts about this? You know what? I can't sit up here and BS with you guys. Folks, the United States of America, a country in which I was born and raised, has always been about race, is about race, and will forever be about race. It is woven within the fabric of that particular country. Other countries, it's not race. Other countries, they're dealing with things like tribalism. In other countries, they're dealing with things like classism, right? The United States, race is just unique onto the States. So for Dave to say, this guy is a race baiter, I get what he's trying to say in terms of maybe some of the things that Ryan Clark has said in the past. But don't get it twisted, bro. We're talking about America here. It's always about race. Whether people like to admit it or not, it's always about race. Always. Right? It's either this group is saying this thing about this thing, the other group is saying. So I don't get into the nonsense of, this guy's a race baiter, everybody's talking about race. Now, are there some people that constantly talk about race when race isn't even a thing? Sure. Right? Sure. But by and large, man, that's what the United States is about. And so to kind of paint the picture like, Ryan is a race, but like as if race ain't the number one thing being discussed right now, covertly or overtly, right? And I don't play this bull game of I don't know what's going on. We're gonna act like I don't do it. I'm too old for this, man. I am too old for it. Now, I don't know exactly what prompted Dave to say that about Ryan, because the interaction between Ryan and Peter had absolutely nothing to do with race. All he was saying was, hey, look, you never played professional sports or football or whatever it is, so I can understand why you're saying that. Now, you're the one that brought race into this conversation here. It's on your mind. You may be thinking that, Ryan is always race baiting, but in this moment, nobody was talking about race. You brought it in. So all I'm saying is, yes, they're race baiters, grifters, and all of these things. These people exist in society. But folks, we're talking about America here. We're talking about America here. Let's not behave like babies and children. We are all full-grown adults. Let's behave like adults. America is all about race. All about race. Some of it is explicit. Some of it people try to hide it and couch it in this way and do it with nuance and do it with messaging and images. So I don't involve myself in that nonsense. It's always been about race. Now, personally, y'all don't hear me talking about race all day long. I see it. I think about it. When moments arise where I feel like I need to say something about it, I do. But this thing of, the race, please. America is all about race, right? If you go to other countries in the world that are dealing with their own social issues, they have their own words and isms for it. In Africa, for example, Nigeria, tribalism. That's the real issue. There is no racism because everybody's black. Oh, but tribalism is alive and well. It's alive and well. In the States, they don't have tribalism, but they do have racism. It is one, and I don't play the game of, we're adults, right? There is racism, and that's it. There's always going to be a conversation. Why? Because America is a melting pot. People are different. People have different backgrounds. So people always, what are those people about? Oh, what are those people about? Do you see what those people are eating? Do you see what those people are doing? Do you see it's America. So there's always going to be this thing. Whoa, what are those guys? That's the United States. That's the United States. And please, let's do our best. Let's do our best to keep the politics out of the sports. Let's do our best to do it. Let's do our best. I hear a lot of people talk, I don't want to hear politics in sport. Then don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Obviously, we have seminal moments in society where you may need to say a thing or two. And we get that, and things become larger than sports. But please, let's keep it out of sports. I had a political channel that we talk sports from politics. Then I just went over there because people didn't tune in to Dreamers Pro to hear my political views on things. They didn't. If they want to get my political views on certain issues, they'll go there. And I had to demarcate the two. I couldn't do the two. So people are tuning in for sports. Let's keep it sports, right? If you want to talk politics and say politics and all of that, then that's fine. But I'm not going to do it. But I'm also not going to pretend like race is not it. It's not a thing in the United States. It is. It is. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not play the game. We all know it is. At least people that are mature enough to admit it. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.